Allah said in Surah Al-Baqarah, "Did you not see him who disputed with Ibrahim concerning his Lord because Allah had granted him power? When Ibrahim said, 'My Lord is he who gives life and causes death,' he said, 'I give life and cause death.' Ibrahim said, 'Verily, Allah causes the sun to rise from the east, so make it rise from the west.' Thus the one who disbelieved was dumbfounded. And Allah does not guide people who are unjust. Allah mentioned in these verses the argument that Ibrahim had with an arrogant and proud king who claimed for himself lordship. Ibrahim then proved the falseness of his argument and also made apparent the king's ignorance and how childish he was. Scholars of the Quran and genealogists, along with others, said that this king was the king of Babylon. He was called Namrood. Mujahid and others said, this king was one of the kings on earth at that time. As is mentioned, only for kings throughout the ages possessed the earth. Two were believers and to disbelievers. The believers were Zulkarnain and Suleiman, while the two disbelievers were Namrood and Nebuchadnezzar. It is said that the reign of King Namrood was for about 400 years. Some of his characteristics were that he was proud, arrogant, and rebellious, and preferred to enjoy the world. When Ibrahim called him to the worship of Allah alone, without any partners, his deviant and ignorant attitudes made him reject that call. So he disputed with Ibrahim concerning his message, and furthermore, he claimed for himself the lordship. When Ibrahim said to him, "My Lord is he who gives life and causes death," he Namrood said, "I give life and cause death." Ibn Ishaq said, two people who the king wanted to kill were brought in front of him. He then ordered one of them to be killed and spared the life of the other. Thus, it is as if, according to his claim, he granted life to one of them and caused death to the other person. This statement of his was an argument out of the context. Ibrahim proved the existence of the Creator by the things that occur around us, such as the birth and death of animals. All these events require that there be one who makes these happen, since it is impossible for them to occur by themselves. Thus there must be one who created everything and the sky with its celestial bodies. Similarly, he created wind, clouds, rain, and the animal kingdom. He gives them life and causes their death. It is for this reason that Ibrahim said, "My Lord is he who gives life and causes death." Thus the saying of this proud king, "I give life and cause death," does not mean that he created this phenomenon of life and death, and thereby obstinately and willfully rejected the truth. However, if he meant what Qatada and others said earlier, then he did not say anything with respect to the Ibrahim's speech, since it was quite possible that this argument may not be very clear to so many people who attended and also who did not attend. Ibrahim mentioned another proof of the existence of the Creator, and at the same argument, he refuted the claim of Namrood and showed its falseness. To quote the verse of the Quran, Ibrahim then said, "Verily, it is Allah who causes the sun to rise from the east, so make it rise from the west." That is, the sun rises every day from the east, as has been ordained by its Creator, beside whom there is none worthy of worship, the Creator of everything. Thus, if you are what you claim to be, that you give life and cause death, Then make this very same sun rise from the west. This is because the one who gives life and causes death, it is he only who can do anything. He can neither be prevented nor overpowered, rather he overpowers everything. If, however, you do not do this, then you are not what you claim to be. In fact, you yourself and everybody else knows that you do not have the power to do any of this, to the extent that you are incapable of creating even a mosquito. Ibrahim thus proved to the king that he is deviant, ignorant, and is telling lies in what he claimed. He then did not have anything to answer back with. He was dumbfounded and kept his mouth shut. Allah said regarding this in the Quran, "Thus the one who disbelieved was dumbfounded, and Allah does not guide people who are unjust." Al-Sudi said that this argument between Ibrahim and Namrood took place on the very day when he came out of the fire. They had never met before, and thus this argument took place. Abdur-Razzaq reported from Zayd ibn Aslam that Namrood took full control of all food, and thus the people used to go to him for their food. Once Ibrahim had also gone along with a group of people. They had never met before, and it was at this time that the argument took place. Ibrahim was not given the food, but others were given. In fact, he returned with nothing at all with him. When he approached his house, he went to a dune and filled his sacks with it. He said to himself, "I will distract my family with these sacks." When he reached home, he put them aside and laid down and slept. His wife, Sarah, went to check the 2 sacks. What she found was that they were full of the best food, so she prepared food from them. When Ibrahim woke up and saw food, he asked, "From where did you get this?" She answered, "From the sacks you brought." Ibrahim thus learned that it was provision that Allah, the All-High, had provided them. Zayd ibn Aslam said that Allah sent an angel to that proud king ordering him to believe in Allah, but he refused to do so. Then he invited him a second time, and again he refused. For a final time, the angel invited him, and the king persisted in his refusal. He said, "You call your gathering of people, and I will call my people." Namrood then gathered his army and people at sunrise. Then Allah sent upon them so many mosquitoes that they covered the whole sun's rays. They ate the people's flesh, drank their blood, and left them as mere bones. One of these mosquitoes entered into the nostril of the king and stayed therein for 400 years. Allah punished him with that mosquito. In order to get relief from it, the king used to hit his head with a hammer. This continued till the proud king's death.